Hey YouTube, Coppersan here. It was time for another video dedicated to MapleStory's balancing team's problem child, Kanna. And more specifically to the changes that will happen to this class after the Destiny update goes live on the 15th in MapleStory Global and when the second part of Destiny is released in MapleStory Southeast Asia, or MapleStory C. The Kanna class has been rather unbalanced for a while. You know, when Kanna is the most popular class in the game and twice as popular as the second most popular class Adele, you know there's probably something broken with this class. And it ain't just the one thing that was broken with Kanna. There were multiple things that made this class the most OP, most wanted class in the game. Spawning the Kanna farming meta, the 2PC meta, and the flex of being able to clear a boss without a Kanna in your party. Kanna has two major issues, one of which Nexon is addressing, in my opinion, in an okay way, and one where Nexon is completely missing the point and absolutely guts the class with those changes. Let's start with the easy point that I already addressed in a previous video, Kanna Hurricane skill that has the additional effect of boosting the monster spawn rate when active. This skill by itself is extremely unbalanced as no other class has the option to boost the monster spawn rate by themselves at any time. In MapleStory Global, players have to buy totems to boost spawn rates, and those totems are of course limited, you can't keep buying those forever. And in MapleStory C, such totems don't even exist. So Kanna is the only class that can boost the spawn rate there. This made Kanna the best meso farmer in the game, as she was always on that boosted spawn. Over time, Nexon has already nerfed the uptime of the skill to combat the 2PC meta, but still Kanna remained the best farmer in the game. With the Destiny update, Nexon is now completely removing the spawn increasing effect and gives Kanna instead a 10% boost in EXP on the same skill. While I personally would have rather seen a general boost in monster spawn rate or a decent kitchen skill node, I'm okay with Nexon at least leveling the playing field so that there isn't one class that always has insane spawn all the time and all the other classes just get left in the dust. However, yesterday, one of MapleStory's community managers posted the other Kanna changes that are going to be released alongside the kitchen nerfs with Destiny, and it has Kanna mains rather upset, and rightfully so. Kanna is a support class that dishes out decent damage, is tanky, has good mobility, and rather crazy, super insane supportive skills. So Nexon decided to take matters into their own hand and completely nerf her damage. And by completely nerf, I mean like they nerfed her 6 feet deep into the ground. Kannas will be so much weaker after the Destiny update. They will lose around 30% of their overall damage, which is a massive nerf that is very rare to see in MapleStory. And the somewhat ironic part is that Kanna, her OP super crazy supportive skills, are still broken. She will just deal less damage. Meaning that Nexon's changes will hit all the Kanna mains who are actually grinding or defeating bosses solo like really hard, while all the Kanna bossing mules, while they will deal less damage, will still be wanted in bossing parties for their utility. Kanna getting a nerf, not this one, just a normal slight nerf, wouldn't be that bad by itself, but with Destiny, almost all the other classes will get anywhere from a 10% to a 50% damage increase like a damage boost. Kanna getting a 30% nerf is really putting her at the bottom of the damage list, making her by far the weakest class in the game. The Kanna nerfs are mostly to her 5th job boost nodes, those that increase the damage of your existing skills. It ain't all bad, like there also will be a buff to the damage multiplier of the Kishin Shauken node, boosting damage from that skill from 2% to 3% per level. You can level up those skills, you know, so you actually gain quite a bit over time. But the Shikigami Hunting, Falling Sakura and the Shikigami Doppelganger boost nodes will all have their damage lowered from 5% to 2% final damage per level. This is a massive nerf to her damage output, and while this is in line with the other classes, they have the same damage multipliers, we also gotta keep in mind that balancing wise, most other classes have better passive boosts to their base skills. Kanna by herself only has very few final damage buffs, and half of them I believe only work when she's in the party, so whatever those nodes gave her was kinda necessary. Like again, Kanna was not the strongest class in the game. Kanna was just slightly above average. But right now, with all these changes, she will lose like a third of her damage, while all the other classes are getting stronger. On the other hand, Kanna is also getting some buffs. Her summons, for example, right now aren't affected by critical rate and boss damage, for example. In MapleStory, there's this different damage formula for summons that the Kanna summons were using. Your soul summons have the same thing. But instead, after the Kanna update, Kanna summons will get a big buff as they'll start using the normal MapleStory damage. So those summons will be able to critical strike, you get critical damage on top of that, final damage, boss damage, you name it. However, as of right now, this buff in damage for her summons is not even close to compensating for the loss in overall damage. And while it does help a little bit while grinding, it still leaves the Kanna class with a massive nerf. The ironic thing is that while Kanna was a bit too wanted for bossing parties, the main reason why she is such a valuable party member is because of Kanna's 5th job skill Spirit's Domain, which is by far the best supportive skill in the game, increasing attack speed, final damage, recovering HP and MP, and improving status resistance while also dealing damage, and you'll get like the full effect of this skill at level 200. No need to get more int or anything like that, it doesn't skill, you just boom, you get all these buffs. The skill in combination with Kanna her hyper skill bind lasting longer than any other bind in the game, normal binds last 10 seconds, hers last 15, makes her extremely valuable for bossing parties, together with other party buffs as well of course, but those I wouldn't say they're like broken or anything like that. But it is mostly those two skills that are by far the best bind and best supportive skill in the game, but those remain untouched, so her OP supportive skills are still there, she just doesn't deal any damage anymore. It looks like Nexon is tackling the issue wrong here. Kanna was strong, yes, but not that strong. She was more middle of the pack damage wise, it was her utility and spawn increase that really made her shine. Getting nerfed this hard is a massive slap in the face to anyone who put any time or money into their Kannas. After this nerf, Kanna mains are better off playing literally any other class, as your return of investment, like your time investment, will be a lot higher on any other class than on Kanna right now. In the development statement, it also was mentioned that a revamp is for Kanna as planned and that Nexon will monitor the Kanna performance. However, I feel like this is already too late. Getting nerfed this hard while all the other classes are getting more damage will surely leave a bad taste in anyone's mouth. Imagine your main losing 1/3 of their damage, while all other classes like increase the damage by 1/3. You'll be quite silly to keep playing that class. I asked MapleStory, who has liberated 2 Kannas in the past, what he thought of the Kanna nerfs, and he mentioned that he's already packing his bags to switch mains. He streams a lot by the way, so make sure to check him out. I think Nexon actually had a very easy solution at hand for the Kanna problem. Remove the kitchen spawn boosting effect, which is what they did. Make Kanna's 5th job domain skill, the one that's super broken, make that skill with int, so you need to get more int first, you need to get actual proper funding before that skill can reach its full potential. Reduce the time on Kanna's bind to 10 seconds instead of 15, and improve the summon damage like they did, and just call it a day. All other classes are already getting buffed, there is no reason for Kanna to get any nerfs really. She was already slightly above average when it came to damage output, and with all other classes getting stronger, she would still be more than fine as a supportive class, you know, she's a supportive class, that's supposed to be her role. After this, I would be super scared, man. If I would main any non-KMS class, getting nerfed this hard out of nowhere is really questionable balancing and will seriously hurt anyone's trust in Nexon's balancing capabilities. But what are your thoughts on the Kanna nerf? Let me know in the comments. And that was all for today. As always, many thanks to our members for making these videos possible. I really hope you guys are not Kanna mains. Many thanks to Niels the Coninck, Raar maar waar, Sebastian Hanoy, Ryalias, Terry Kim, Vareese, Mora, Wiley, Historycanon, BackSpaceOTI, Saffronyx, Anwar NHI, Ziggy Deer, Flidiot, Knifesu, Chen125, Cloudfix, Gusus Rodriguez, Froggy, Vira, Trevor, Michael Machaka, Ratius, Justin Vale, Silvio Nato, Stevie Zhang, Afterlord_MS, ceemak, Striker Elk, Tidal Pun, Victor Sundstrom, Radical Jaws, Riser Are Gummy Bullet, Lovebird, Surtito655, Mathias Simonsson, Mr. Narc, Galando Balavia, my name is Coppersan, and I'm super cute XOXO, PC Game Life, Dante Victory, Stanislaus, Ximo Vegas, Swap to Bish, Road to level 235, 30k stat reboot, The Passenger, Martin Panzik, I'm Disappointed, Lucky Beats, Gabriel Eck, Pedro Bonetti, Conrad Castales, Ace Light, Ben Wolf, and Max Bernhardt. Thank you all so much for watching, stay safe, and yeah, happy mapling!